Okay. Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to Miss Claudia and all to my beloved friends. Today we from Group 8 will present about punctuation marks. Without wasting any time, I would like to call Yasmin to present her part about the commas.
Okay, hi. My name is Nur Yasmin, and I will present my part, which is commerce. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry for the noises. Um. Okay, I will start. Okay, comma is a punctuation mark that is frequently used in sentences. Commas separate ideas, add pauses, and help you to list things clearly. They also let us connect words, phrases, and clauses together to make longer sentences. In fact, the comma is one of the most important and commonly used when we make a lot of sentences in our assignments or daily life. Without them, sentences would just be very messy. Okay, let's continue with the example of comma uses. Almost all sentences that are not a single independent clause have commas. Here are some examples of the ways we use them. Okay, first we have listing things. They own a cat, comma, a dog, comma, two rabbits, comma, and seven mice. Oh, okay. Sorry for the typo. Okay, and then we have connecting clauses, which is I really wanted a cereal this morning, comma, but I didn't have milk. Okay, and then we have creating pauses. Well, if you really want pancakes, comma, I guess I can make them. In sentences where two independent clauses are joined by connectors such as and or but, put a comma at the end of the first clause. As the example, he walked all the way home, comma, and he shut the door. And then we have comma separate an introductory dependent clause from the independent clause. Uh, the example are, whenever I go to a mall, I always come home with way more than I intended. Okay, that's all. I will let the other presenter, Fikra, to continue the presentation.
Okay, colons. Colon is a punctuation mark consisting of two equally sized dots, placed one above the other on the same vertical line. Colons have many different uses. They can be used to separate two independent clauses, and a colon can be used to show emphasis. So the first is, we can use colon to separate independent clauses. A colon can be used to separate two independent clauses when the second clause is directly related to the first clause, and when the emphasis is on the second clause. In other words, we use a colon to join two independent clauses when the second clause is a definition, explanation, or summary of the first. For example, the results were in, colon, Maria had won the Grammy. Both of these are two independent clauses. These are two sentences that work by themselves. The results were in, and then colons, Maria had won the Grammy. You could put a period here, or you could just put a semicolon. But because the second independent clause is directly related to this first independent clause, it's better to use a colon because this all works together as one sentence. These are the results that they are talking about in this first sentence. Next is, we also can use colons to show emphasis. Example, she was always there for one person, her mother. We want to emphasize who she was always there for, so we have to put a colon. we have a full sentence, a full independent clauses here. He was always there for one person, and then we use the colon to emphasize that the mother is who we are talking about. If sentence was she was always there for her mother, you will need the colon. But here they are trying to emphasize that her mother was the person that she was there for. Okay. The next presenter is Diva.
All right, apostrophe. Apostrophe have a two main use. Next slide. First, correction, and second, position. Correction is a shortened form of the word the omit certain letter or sign. In a correction and apostrophe reception, missing letter. For example, it's rain. It's the is correction and it's come from it is. Don't worry, it's one rain. Don't the is correction and it's come from do not. One the is correction and it's come from will not. All right. For position. Position mean when you want something or something belongs to you. For example, my cat favorite toy is a small red ball. And second, Dina's parents live in Liverpool. Position, a lot of people will add this possessive with the apostrophe and s. Position have a rule. The first rule is the that for most singular noun add apostrophe plus s. We use apostrophe to indicate that something belongs to someone. For example, the boy's bike. All of these are singular now because we are talking about one boy. If one boy have two or more bikes, we will still say the boy's bikes. Second rule, for so most plural now we add only an apostrophe, so most plural now will ending as, because for example, if we have boy become usually we have to just add an s to make most plural now. For example, boys to boys. This means there are multiple boys. Maybe there are two, maybe three, maybe more. All right. Second, his parents' car. Parents' car, this will mean both mom and dad, or that will mean their car. So will be the that belongs to the parents. So most plural now, we just add only apostrophe at the end. All right. Next, second. Three, for plural that do not end in s, add apostrophe plus s. For example, the children's teacher. If one person just say the children teacher, child teacher, I'm sorry. All right, last, for singular now ending in s can either end in the apostrophe or just as to show profession. For example, first, it is Thomas' birthday, and second, it is Thomas' birthday. First example, just add apostrophe and plus s. And second, just add apostrophe. All right. Now proceed the next slide. Active.
All right, thank you, Diva, for her presentation. So I will proceed with my part about the punctuation error. One of the punctuation error is the quotation marks. Okay, so we use quotation marks with direct quotes with titles of certain works to imply alternate meaning and to write words as word. block quotations are not set off with quotation marks. So one of the biggest problem that students or people always do with the quotation marks is knowing whether another types of punctuation, such as a period or comma, goes inside or outside the quotation marks. All right. So, firstly, examples of quotation marks mistake is use double quotation marks to set off a direct word forward quotation. So, as you can see, correct. Okay. Open the quotation mark. I hope you will be here. Okay, and then comma, close the quotation mark. He said. So the incorrect that people always tend to do is he said that he open the quotation mark, hope I will be there, okay, and then close the quotation mark. So the quotation marks are incorrect because hope I will be there does not state the speaker's exact words, because the speaker exact words must be in the quotation marks or inside the quotation marks, not outside the quotation marks. Secondly, always capitalize the first word in a complete quotation, even mid-sentence. For example, Lamar said, comma, open the quotation mark, the case is far from over, comma, and we will win. Okay. Close the quotation mark. So this is the correct example for capitalize. So as you can see, the T is been used in the capitalized capital letter. So don't use not a capital letter because it will make a quotation mark mistakes. All right. So when using punctuation marks with quotation marks, remember to reserve quotation marks for for direct quotations. Don't use quotation marks around the title of your paper. Don't use them to signal and somehow justify the use of cliches or slang expressions. Don't use them to indicate that you are being clever or funny. In fact, don't use them to call attention to your tone error. So, um, always put question marks, exclamation marks, and dashes outside quotation marks if they are not part of the quotation. If they are part of the quotation, so you must always put this punctuation, such as exclamation marks or question marks, inside the question marks. Okay, and then you must always know colons and semicolons always go outside quotation marks. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, so here is semicolons. Okay, semicolons most often used to connect two independent clauses or sentence instead of using a comma plus conjunction. Example, Horace played the guitar, Julia cheered. Second, use a semicolons to join two independent clauses with an adverb or other transitional word or phrase. For example, Isabel ran a marathon, semicolons, afterward, comma, she felt strong. So here, afterward is the transitional word and felt is an adverb. Third, use semicolons in a list whose item already use commas. Example, John have lived in Atlanta, comma, GA, semicolons, Carleston, comma, SC, semicolons, and Tallahassee, comma, FL.
So I think that's all from our group, group 8. Thank you very much, and I hope Miss can be very happy with our presentation. Thank you.